it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards, yay, and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting Wednesday the 12th of July through to Tuesday the 18th of July 2023. So welcome. While you're coming on over, I want to send out a big, extra special, huge welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is, the sun's just rising here in front of me, and it's quite windy, but it looks clear. So a good day for washing the clothes and hanging them on the clothesline is my hope, because I've already started the washing machine, so we'll see. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Wednesday the 12th of July here, and it's exactly 8:16 a.m. Welcome Valerie, and welcome everybody. So I trust this video finds you well and things are flowing well for you in your life. I've woken up so motivated and ready to just do everything, one thing after the other today. So that's how I feel currently. We'll see how it goes as the day progresses, but it's a good feeling to have, and when I feel this I want to run with it, because it doesn't, it comes up reasonably regularly, but it's good to run with it when it's felt. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to do is use my Speed of Light Oracle cards combined with my Animal Kingdom Oracle. There are 110 cards in this deck, and I'm going to use this deck to find the best cards that the majority of us need for this week ahead. I trust you've been led here for a reason. What that reason will be personal for you. So be open and be ready to be surprised, and be ready for some things to stand out and speak to you personally, and just let the other things go. You can think of this as a guide only. So last week's theme was harmony, which was about balance, harmony, getting tuned back in, perhaps tuned back in on spiritual levels too, which was strong last week. And also that the harmony card also brings highlight to music and song or sound of some sort. So I don't know if that was important for you last week. It actually was fairly important for me, but I do play a musical instrument, so music's always important to me. So let's turn our attention now to the new reading week. So I'm shuffling the cards, and I need to hold a very clear intention, because a clear intention means that I'm going to get a clear message in the cards. So usually I would say this in my head, but because I'm doing a video, I say it out loud, that I'm asking the cards to show the majority of us what we need to know for this week ahead, starting Wednesday the 12th of July. Cards, and I trust that the best cards their way to the top of the deck based on the way I choose my cards. The way I choose my cards is right for me. The way you choose your cards is right for you. So my intuition is right for me, yours is right for you. So I trust my intuition here. So the best cards for this week ahead for the majority of us, the 12th to the 18th of July 2023, are these here. And I'm just going to lay them face down and down here. So just bear with me a moment. Looks like we've got a bunch of Animal Kingdom, if not, oh no, not quite all of them. So we've got 7 cards, 6 of them are Animal Kingdom, and we've got one lonely Speed of Light Oracle card. So let's turn these guys over, see what we've got here. Okay. Oh, we do have one featured card. Our Speed of Light Oracle is the Shaman. So the featured cards have further instructions here. And this one says to fan out the deck and choose an extra card. So I'm just going to fan out the deck here. And I don't want to overthink it. I'm just going to go for this card, which is another Speed of Light. And it's the Yogi. That's interesting. He hasn't come up for ages, and he came up when I did a bunch of readings for patrons yesterday. but I haven't seen this card for so long. We'll talk about that later because that's for a bit later in the week. So we're starting the week. When's the reading week? Wednesday, the 12th of July, with card 44, the Rainbow Serpent. It says, take it to the next level. You know, and I've already said that I'm feeling this surge of motivation and inspiration and drive this morning. And for no particular reason, you know, there's nothing really that's a big reason for this, that this is just a normal Wednesday for me with the things that I have to do. So there is this extra surge, this oomph, as I've woken up today. And this really highlights this energy. This is the Rainbow Serpent, and it's like the energy wants to springboard, or we're being encouraged to springboard to the next level, to take parts of our life, and including ourselves and potentially our relationships, because it all follows along with us, to the next level. So it's like, because I'm closely tied to Temple of Balance, I'm the founder here, and Temple of Balance is focused around my work. When I take myself to the next level, Temple of Balance comes with me. When I go to the next level, my relationships and friendships come with me, if those people are willing to come as well. Depends if they're very involved or not in whatever I'm taking to the next level. But it can inspire other people as we move up, as we upgrade, as we step up to the challenge, as we step up to the task, as we forge our way forward, as we open up doors of opportunity before us, as we make phone calls and take risks and follow our heart. Going to the next level rarely comes when we sit back and we're holding back in our comfort zone, which I talked a lot about last week. So when we're holding back, or we're in the rut, or we're in our comfort zone, the comfort zones are nice places to be if we're healing or mending or recovering, or if we're, you know, resting after a busy period. Then comfort zones are nice. You know, it's where we can catch up on sleep and get things together again. But it's not really a cool place to hang out for a long period of time. Hi, Nicole. So, you know, if you've been in your comfort zone for a while, it can become a rut. So that's what I talked a lot about last week. And I see this particular card as taking us out of our comfort zone. Going to the next level is taking ourselves out of our comfort zone. And in fact, over the last week, it's felt like we've been right out there on the edge of our comfort zone and ready to take it over the cliff, if you like, or take it over to the next level. So what are you considering springboarding into on Wednesday? What are you considering taking to the next level? What are you considering stepping up for or stepping into? And this actually lines up really well with the cards that we had at the end of the last reading week, which was stepping in. It was coming out of the rut. So now we're being encouraged to lift up and take it to the next level. And it's very heart focused. Let's make sure that, I love these words, take a risk and follow your heart. Oh, excellent, Nicole. Fantastic. So that's for Wednesday, which is really uplifting. So let's work with the energy when we feel it, because we may not feel it tomorrow. Hi, Jane. Stormy Germany. Well, it's beautiful here. And hopefully the storms blow over. But they're great for stirring up energy, aren't they? Stirring things up. So let's run with the motivation while we feel it, because it probably won't be here tomorrow. So let's, you know, make hay while the sun shines, they say. Now for Thursday, the 13th of July, we have card 21 called the Wolf. This is the she wolf. I've got a sort of masculine wolf and a female wolf in the cards, and this is a female sort of version. And she's a support card. She says she's your battle companion. So basically on Thursday, whatever we're fumbling through, hi Donna, whatever we're fumbling through on Thursday, we're being reminded that we have support, and that if we're walking through some battles right now, you know, there are challenges in life, even though, you know, some days we might wake up feeling motivated and inspired, and we might have good energy to get things done. There are still things that we're dealing with in our life. There are still battles that we are fighting in some ways, although hopefully not too many, and hopefully it hasn't been too long. But there are challenges we're still facing at this time period, and there might be some on Thursday that maybe take their toll, or we're trying to figure out our way through something. So the wolf card is coming up as a support, as a companion, like a dog a loyal dog that may be walking by our side as we walk through this bit of a battlefield at this time. So it's important to remember with this card that there is support, that we have support there, and it may not come in the ways we expect or hope in some ways, but the support is coming in other ways, maybe through our pets, maybe through people that take us by surprise, that step up and maybe show that they care. Maybe it's the support we can offer ourselves. So support is really important to remember for some of us on Thursday, as well as remembering that the battle that we're fighting at this time, whatever that is, that it is temporary. Now, temporary can mean a few hours, it can mean a few days, it can mean a few weeks or months, or for some, years. So depending on the nature of the battle. But this card is always showing that it's temporary. It's not always going to be and feel like a battle. So at some stage there it will come to an end. At some stage there will be surrender or a potential resolution of some sort. So it's temporary. Let's remind ourselves that when we're in the thick of the battle, this is temporary. I am getting through it. I am supported. I will deal with one thing at a time as I'm walking through the battlefield. So this is a support card for Thursday. Friday, the 14th of July, we have the Doe card 41 as well. Oh no, the other one was 21. Never mind, scrap that. The Doe says to feel deeply. So there's a potential sensitivity around for Friday, and we might feel a bit sensitive on an emotional level. We might even feel we might even feel quite emotional and quite fragile to some degree on Friday. We're being encouraged with this card to really listen and pay attention. The doe's ears are quite prominent in this particular artwork. So let's pay attention. Let's listen to what? Let's listen and pay attention to how we feel, for one, because the more we ignore it or the more we push it away, the louder it's going to get. So if we can sink into or slip into how we feel, even those intense, uncomfortable feelings, and get to know them a little bit, what are they trying to tell us? Then that will take the intensity out of the feeling, and then it will flow to a new feeling, and then a new feeling. The more we ignore or turn the other way towards our emotions, the louder they become, and the more they are trying to get our attention. And the more stuck we become, strangely enough. So I find if I can feel my way through things and feel my way forward, then I move through that obstacle course in some cases of emotion. So as I feel and acknowledge that, wow, I feel angry, then as I acknowledge that, then it moves to a new feeling and moves to a new feeling. So let's slip into our emotions, especially on Friday, and realize and recognize that they're not our enemy. They're actually there to help in some ways guide us through our journey and guide us through our issues so we can come out that other side, especially if we feel like we're fighting some sort of battle at this time in our life. So heightened sensitivity and diving into or slipping in, I like those words, slipping into our emotional state, especially on Friday, and see where that takes us. On Saturday, the 15th of July, we have the Ammonite. The Ammonite is card 38, and it talks about clearing private issues. So these are things that we hold private, things that we may hold secret, or that may be quite intimate issues that we have and hold personally. So it's an opportunity on Saturday to get things moving, and it might start earlier. It's probably already been brewing days or weeks prior, but I mean, the Friday card with the doe, as we slip into our emotions, will probably bring things up. We're not immune from ourselves or our issues by slipping into our emotions. In fact, usually that's where we find what the issue is so we can resolve it and then keep moving forward. When we reject our emotional state or this heightened sensitivity we might feel, that's where we're ignoring our issues, and they're just going to get louder and louder. They're not going to go away. They become more and more intense. So it's to our own benefit to deal with and face these issues as quickly as possible. That's my approach to it, and it works for me. Maybe it's something you could try if you've been resisting. See if you can slip in a little bit more this week and see if that works a bit better for you. I'd rather deal with things quickly, and I'd rather deal with things before they get intense, basically. So the Ammonite is the opportunity to clear private issues around Saturday, to break down the shell that we've had around us, and to shift out of illusion. Illusion to me is kind of the opposite of truth. So it could be things like the realization that we're living a lie, which is a big fish slap. And I mean, that's a confronting thing to realize, but it's the truth. And if it is the truth, and we do realize it, even if it's confronting, I'd rather confront that as soon as possible than live any further days or weeks or months or years living a lie. So there might be some things like that shift up, that are confronting, that come to the surface. And it's an opportunity, don't forget, it's an opportunity to clear issues. It's an opportunity to realize what the issue is. I mean, that's huge. That's a huge realization, to go, oh, wow, I'm living a lie. What a breakthrough. Because then we know we've got a revelation, if you like, of truth, even though it's confronting and it's like, oh, have I really been living a lie? And then we can do something about it to turn things around in our life. So it's a great opportunity on Saturday to clear the issues we've been holding privately, and to break down the shell that we've been putting up around ourselves. To protect ourselves, to avoid things, to avoid people, to avoid getting close to others, to avoid getting close to ourselves, and to avoid perhaps the lie that we've been living, that we've been ignoring. We can probably feel it in our gut. If you have been living a lie, and you can probably feel it. Oh, there's something uncomfortable in here. So it's opportunity for these things to come to the surface, which is great. Now, Sunday, the 16th of July, we have the Echidna again. Our friend, card 19, it says, don't dwell on the details. So there's a fine line sometimes with this, because sometimes the details need to be, we need to dive into the details, and we need the details, but sometimes we can get bogged down in the details, and the details can, unnecessary details can just take over, and we can become consumed by all the little nitty gritty details that aren't really that important in the big scheme of things. So we've been encouraged to, on Sunday, to notice when the details stop us, or notice when the details distract us. That might be another way of looking at it. If the details are distracting us and we're avoiding the actual issue because we're so focused on pulling it apart in all the little details, but we're missing the actual key point, then it might be worth stepping back. Another way of looking at this might be to stay focused on the bigger picture rather than all the little details within the picture. So sometimes we've got to step back in our life, or it's helpful to step back and go, okay, what's the bigger picture here? So if you're getting bogged down by the details and it's just too much, because the details can become really overwhelming. If it's becoming too overwhelming for you on Sunday, the details, step back. So how would you step back from the details if you're overwhelmed with whatever it is? It could be stuff going on at work. It could be partly to do with your issues that are coming up. All the details, it might just be too much. So step back, maybe take a break, go for a drive, go for a walk, step outside, do some exercise, do a meditation if your mind will calm down enough. Do something creative, do something fun, cook yourself a nice cake or a meal of some sort. Phone up a friend, but if you're going to get focused on the details and the story too much, then it might not be a good idea. So, sometimes a distance, if we create distance from the details, if they're becoming too overwhelming, that will help us see the bigger picture. But stepping away is probably a really good thing to do if that inspires you. So the Echidna, keep moving, keep going forward, and look at the bigger picture. Okay, Monday the 17th of July, we have our featured cards here. So I'm going to look at these separately, and then we'll look at their relationship together. They've come up together for a reason. And they're the only two Speed of Light Oracle cards in the whole spread here for the week. This is card 17 for the 17th. So there we go. We have a synchronicity there. and it's the Shaman, and it says solitude, grounding, mending, privacy, and reassess. This is a withdrawal card, and it's about sort of slipping back. We might feel a bit withdrawn, like we want to slip into our cave. We want to slip perhaps into that comfort zone, into the cave within ourselves. It's quite an introspective card, this one. Slip into ourselves to heal, to mend, to reassess our life. And this is quite interesting because if we have had a shift this week, especially in issues, especially private issues that we've held privately, or the overwhelm and perhaps the illusion that we're shifting out of and we're slipping more into truth, if we've had some big things shift up and stir up for us over the few days prior, then it sort of makes sense that we might need to slip back and really reassess ourselves and our relationships and our life. So what I like to do when I'm in that mode, reassessment mode or assessment mode, I like to look past, present, future. So what I do in my mind is I explore in my journal what led me to here. Hi, Regina. What led me to here, to this point in my life, the realization, the issues, whatever it might be. What led me to here? That's the past. How do I feel now? That's the present. And where is this energy that I'm feeling that's led me to here and where I feel now? Where is that taking me? And is this aligned with the shifts that have taken place in the days or weeks prior? Do I need to make some adjustments in regards to where I'm going, the direction that I'm taking? Do I need to shift my attitude a little bit or a lot? Or shift my behavior? Hi, Melanie. Lovely to see you. What do I need to do? So an assessment. We can journal write about this. You know, what led me to here? Where am I now? And where am I going? And then looking at that and see, does it match up? Where we've come from doesn't need to really match up because that should be just the truth of what's led us to this point now. And this could be a turning point. If this is a turning point, then it's good, I find anyway, to assess that and acknowledge it so I don't keep going down the same path and falling into the same pattern and the same issues again and again, because they will bounce back in if we don't make some real shifts with our attitude, our behavior. And it could be looking at our routine, how we spend our time, who we spend our time with. If that's part of the issue, we might need to really look at our relationships and our life itself. What needs to shift there? So this is an opportunity to slip within. We've got our wolf that's come up again too, that's staying with us this week as our support, as our protector, as our loyal companion. We are not alone as we slip into ourselves for some sacred healing and assessment time. We may feel a bit withdrawn as well. We may feel a bit antisocial on Monday. We might not really want to be around people for the most part, but some of us won't have the option for that, but it's just the way it is. And we've got the Yogi with that. The Yogi is card 32. And like I said, this card hasn't come up for so long. It says epiphany, learn, lead, and comprehend. An epiphany, this is like the penny dropping. So this actually shows that potentially if we can make some time, whatever time we can allow, it could be 5 minutes, it could be the day if we've got the day off, or half the day, or an hour, or whatever we can fit into our day in regards to our routine. If we can make time for this private time where we slip back, maybe get out our drum, get out our journal, and just kind of reflect on things, then it's likely we're going to have a penny drop here. This is the epiphany. This is the penny drop. This is the light bulb moment. This is the aha, I get it. I see now clearly why I had to take that path, or why I had to make that decision or that choice that led me to here, and now I'm going to steer in this direction. It's like a clarity that drops in with this card. So it's epiphany. It shows what we've been learning. It's an understanding that's reached, if you like, but it clicks in at a really deep level. It feels like it clicks in a real mental level with this one, but it drops into our heart and drops into our body, and we finally understand the bigger picture. So that's where the Echidna comes in too. So the Echidna is preparing us for this by not dwelling on the details too much, the unnecessary details, and stay focused on the bigger picture. That will likely lead to this breakthrough, because an epiphany is a breakthrough, and breakthroughs are not a small thing. And then by the time we get to Monday, we have the Nautilus. Hi, Priscilla. It's not the It's not the recording, Priscilla. You're live. I'm live. So welcome. The Nautilus, card 39. It says break negative patterns. Now, what I find really interesting before I go into this card is that this card's also come up in the spread. This is card 38 and 39, and they always feel like a pair. And it's so weird because it doesn't matter how much I shuffle or separate the cards, at some point they always come together in a reading. So they've come together, and I feel like this is showing that it's a really powerful week for healing, for personal healing this week. So the Nautilus is an opportunity on Tuesday for us to break negative patterns or bad habits and avoid going back to them. So this is probably as a result of the epiphany or the penny dropping, that we realize certain things and things line up, and it's like, oh, I realize this, that leads to this, and all this stuff lines up. And part of what lines up might be the realization that we've had maybe fallen into a bad habit. It could be a toxic thing that we're ingesting, like smoking or drugs or whatever, alcohol. Hi, Susie. But we will know that for ourselves if we need to. But it can be a little bit different to that too. It could be a bad habit, like an attitude or a habit we have of keeping the old story alive. It could be a habit of being a gossip or being nasty behind people's backs, or there might be some sort of really personal personality habit that's revealed during this time of quite deep healing this week. So let's recognize and be ready to break the habit or break the negative pattern that keeps us locked back in the past. So if we really want to free ourselves, if we really want to let this epiphany that potentially comes in to break through and be the clarity that we've been looking for to help us feel there's a solidity feeling, a clear direction that feels like it emerges from this. If we really want to take that, we might want to look at the bad habits that we've gotten into and break them. And we can break them. So let's look at those. We'll know if they come up. But again, it's breaking this shell that's keeping us small and limited in our life, but probably showing up as a bad habit or a negative pattern, which is the same sort of thing in my mind. That sort of thing will probably come up. So there are our cards for this week. So quite a lot of healing, quite a lot of personal stuff that's shifting, which is always great. It's never easy, but it's always good because then we're improving ourselves as we do these things. So have a great week. I am going to pull a card for the theme in just a moment. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love if you're watching on Facebook. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to, and if you want to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. What have I got? We've got our online classes coming up this Friday, so that's on the 14th in a couple of days. We've got online card reading club on Zoom where we're going to be pulling and playing with our cards for an hour, and we're going to be looking at our theme of creative expression and blocks with that as well. And also later on the 14th, if you're in Australia, which might be Thursday night or Friday morning for you, is my next online art class. And it's the start of a 4-part series. You can come to one, you don't have to come to them all, they stand on their own, but we're going to do a 4-part series in self-exploration, and it's going to be through doing a self-portrait. So we're starting this particular week with a mirror, and I'm going to teach you some technical things, how to look at shapes and shadows and things that we might see as we look at our face and study our face. And then over the next few months, we're going to be doing that sort of theme, but in different ways. So that's this Friday. If you're interested in joining me, you can learn more about those on my website at templeofbalance.com.au, and you can learn more about my cards that I've used and all the work I do here at Temple of Balance on my website. So thank you so much for having a look over there. So we're looking for the theme card now. The theme card will help us see the bigger picture for this week ahead and help bring this whole week together. There are some themes already coming up. There's a lot of support. We're certainly not alone this week, and we might need to remember that reassure ourselves of that during the thick of the darkest times, because moving through big healing weeks like this is not typically that easy. It can be quite confronting and quite dark in some aspects as we confront parts of ourselves we've been ignoring or denying or avoiding. So it is an opportunity, though, to clear the air and clear those things so they're not hovering over us in our subconscious underneath everything that we do. So the best theme card for the majority of us for this week ahead, from the 12th to the 18th of July 2023, is this. We have another Animal Kingdom Oracle. And it's this. What is this? Oh, it's the stag. Now that's interesting. Can you see it? Maybe I have to hold it over here. That's interesting because I also, if there's any, although the wolves are the same, but we've just got the one wolf, I also, when I created this deck, saw these two as a pair, which is card 41 and 42. So we've got a lot of pairing coming up for this week. This is the stag, and this is great. Card 42, it says new direction. So this is the new direction that's calling us, and this might be part of why it's such an important healing week this week, because we have new energy calling us, a new direction, yelling out to us. But if we can't hear, or there's a wall between us or a veil between where we are now and this new direction that calls, then it's really important that we try our best to clear that veil or move through that veil of issues so we can get to the other side of that and move in that clear direction. So this is clarity, this is direction, this is purpose, this is our path. Where are we going? And all the stuff we're shifting this week is probably ultimately pointing to that. Where are we going? What's holding us back from getting there? There's a strong instinctual feeling with this card, as I feel the stag's antlers here are like antenna, as we're sort of, like when we used to tune the old TVs and we used to go up on the roof, or someone did, and would yell, turn it a bit this way, that way. You almost had it, or almost have it. And there's that tuning in feeling here with the stag, but it's on a mental, instinctual level. So instinctual deep in the body, and mental as in getting our mind on board with the new direction that's calling us. And it's calling from our heart. And it's strong. It brings clarity. When we land on what that new direction is, it's clear. It's clear, and things lock into place, at least the beginning steps. Probably not the whole path, because that probably never really happens, but at least the first few steps might drop in really clearly. So if you want new direction, if you've been asking for it, then let's clear the things, the shit, I want to say, out of the way this week, so we can land on our path with both feet and step forward in that new direction that calls us. We may find some new things even opening up for us this week that are really leading us down that new path. There might be some things that just land that we don't even need to do work for, or we've already done the work, and opportunities open up this week. So a big week. Let's be gentle with ourselves. Let's use our journal and use our tools to help support our journey this week into ourselves, so we can get clarity moving forward. So thanks so much. Happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating this week, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care of yourself, and bye for now. Bye.